So let's start with my analysis of the pooling session and how that relates to the Mercy system. We pulled 230 shards total, and as you can see over here, we beat the odds, I would call it significantly compared to what I would have expected. Really, especially in the epic category, I would have expected 37 based on percentages and got 41. That's a significant improvement. As well as I was expecting 2 legendaries and got 3. So I think what this says to me is basically I got lucky. And when you consider there's hundreds of thousands of raid players pulling millions of shards in a double ancient event, that's entirely a possibility. Plarium doesn't know that I'm a content creator yet, so the mythical content creator luck really hasn't applied here. Now, if you look at it from a timeline perspective, I started with 200 shards pulled, which activated the Mercy system if it had been in the game for some time, and then pulled Yannica 2 shards in. This, to me, says probably the Mercy system had been in longer than when it was announced in patch 2.30, just because the higher chance and getting the legendary on the second shard I pulled makes sense to me. Now, I can't discount the fact that I might have just got lucky, but I think the data and my general level of unlucky pulls that I haven't recorded makes me feel like the Mercy system had been there for some time. 70 shards after that, still pulling at a 1% chance to get a legendary per ancient shard. I got a Mashald, which that right there is a lucky move. I think, what I expected to have happen was I ended up again in the Mercy system, but that did not happen. And then at this point, I didn't have enough shards to run entirely through the Mercy system, so we just pulled again. I got Roxanne at 136 shards after getting Mashald, which still was at the 1% chance, which brought us to a total of 210, if my math is correct. And then we pulled 20 more shards, and I didn't get a legendary, so now my counter should be at 20 if everything is working as expected and there are no bugs in the system. So then here's sort of my thoughts. The data is consistent with the Mercy system being in the game for some time. I personally feel that the announcement of the Mercy system in patch 2.30 was simply documentation of something that already was in the game. I think that Plarium hasn't really been trumpeting or talking about the Mercy system because it isn't as advantageous to the players as they would like, but I think it has been in there for some time. And then my plan going forward is to save more ancient shards and pull in lots of 200 to 220 just to see how the Mercy system works itself out. Here's a graphic I made that gives counters for every shard type that I can track. As you'll see here, it's been 20 ancient shards since we pulled the epic that you saw on video. Since you saw the legendary that I pulled on video. The epic has 4. In the void range, I have pulled 97 since I got a void legendary. So we're halfway through the Mercy system. And then with the sacred shards, I have pulled 4 since I got my last legendary. You'll see this graphic a lot in my videos, and I'll keep it updated to show current counts. Because these aren't shown in the UI of the game, I think this is probably the best way to do it. And so without further ado, let's move into pulling the sacred shards for the champion chase event for the Iron Brago fusion. 3,000 points for the events going on right now. In terms of what I'm looking for, I already got Roxanne and Chancellor Yasmin and Vogoth last week. So any one of these 3 of the 10x champions would be great. Other than that, I really would love a Rosh card or any kind of arena bomb champ. I think I'm one of the 3 people in Raid that would be happy to get a War Mother. Here we go, the first of 6 shards. Oh, first off, an Armina, one of the 10X. That's a good sign. Let's keep moving. Number 2. A Rockbreaker, I already have several of him. Number 3. Hopefully we'll get something good here. It looks like another Berghoff the Malformed. I have several of him. We're awfully laggy today. That's not very good for people watching the video. A Frostbringer, I think that was my first epic ever, but not very used. And because I try to make her kit work, but she never really appears to. A Canonus, I think also one that I have several of. And now for the last shard I'm pulling today. Let's see what we get. Looks like a Hope. So while not the best of shard events, I did get one of the new 10X champions. I think for now, I will call that a win. Bringing this to a close, I've updated my Sacred Shard Mercy System counter to 10. The Mercy System kicks in at 12 shards. I may or may not pull next weekend when I expect to see a Sacred Shard ×2 event. I've got plenty of champs to build, so I may or may not add to that list. That being said, this is Ezron, and I will be out now. Stay tuned for more videos if you like them. Subscribe and like if you want to let me know that it's time to do more.